Okay, Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon to you all. I apologize for I had to change the time today since I actually wanted to mark all of your letters, the answer sheets which I have received. I received total of 13. I received 13 answers for the question I gave. All right. So I have marked them and also posted the marks which each one of you got. I marked it out of 10. And as per the question, I gave 5 marks for content and 5 marks for style and language. Now, while I was marking the letters, I found that there were some similar mistakes which all of you have made in general. So, today I'll be looking at some of the general mistakes you have done and we'll be discussing it throughout the class. And if you have any questions regarding the letter, you can ask as we proceed. All right. Now, let's first of all let's see the question. Okay, now here's the question. So by looking at the question you will know that you have to write an informal letter. Because here in the instruction it says write a letter to a friend. So in the letter you are going to explain these 3 points. First, in the first paragraph, how you first reacted to the breakdown of the television. Therefore, to explain this point, you will have to use some phrases or wordings which expresses feelings, how you felt. Next, how you spent your time instead of watching television. For this point, for the second point, you have to give some more explanation, some more supporting points. What you did, with whom you did it, how you did what you did. Okay, and then last, what you learned from the experience. Now remember, the last line you can just even write it in just one line also. Okay, that doesn't matter. Each of these points should be one whole paragraph, so therefore there should be at least 3 paragraphs in your letter. Okay, now I have graded the letters for those who have submitted here on Google Classroom. You can view it. Now let's see another sample letter. Okay, here's a model answer, not for the question which I gave, but here's a model answer for this question here. Okay, first of all, there's the deer. Now in this point here, I'd like to note some of you have written the address or a date here, whereas you don't need to write a letter, the address or a date in any of the letters which we write now, especially for the exam. The format in the format we do not use any addresses or any dates, so keep that in mind. So that is one point I'd like to highlight. Next is after dear, some of you have given a spacing here. Here this is in this example which you can see right now, here this is a line spacing, but in the letters which I have received, some of you have given a paragraph spacing, which means there's more space in between the lines. Okay, you don't have to give any paragraph spacing here, and also you can start in a new paragraph like this or just a new paragraph from here also, it doesn't matter. Okay, next is I found this very common mistake here in the first line. In the introduction paragraph, introduction line, a lot of you have written the phrase I am writing this letter. I clearly remember asking you to do not to write this phrase, I am writing this letter, I am writing this article. Or if it is a report, do not use the phrase I am writing this report, because that phrase is considered as a very weak form of beginning any kind of writing. So do not start your letter with I am writing this letter to explain, to tell you the story of. No, Now, if you remember, I did give you this worksheet, I mean this handout. There are phrases specifically given here. I gave you this sheet so that you can look and refer to this sheet and then write your letters. Okay, here referring to news, great news, good news. If it is bad news, then just the opposite. Did you know that? You can start with a question. Apologies, invitation, requests. There are different kinds of introductory words and phrases which you can use in different contexts. All right. So make sure that you refer to this sheet, especially if it is an informal letter. If the question is an informal letter, you can refer to this sheet and then write your letter. Next, the next point which I want to highlight is some of you have written in present tense, which means present tense means happening now. Okay, but here you are writing a letter. In this letter, you are explaining about something which has already happened. The event has happened and it's done, finished. Even in the question, it says the television suddenly broke down. Broke means past tense, right? Therefore, in almost all letter questions will be in this format, similar format. So, like every time you'll be asked to tell the other person about something that happened or about describe about something. So always remember you should write in past tense. All right. And then the another mistake which I found common was that sometimes you tend to repeat the same information. For example, let's see the second paragraph in this letter. Just for an example, we'll be looking at this paragraph. Here, the weather is still fairly warm then so we should be able to spend quite a bit of time at the beach. I think your parents will really enjoy the city, particularly the old town. The music festival will be on then, so we shall take full advantage of that as well. Here in this paragraph, they are talking about the first, the topic sentence is the general idea of this paragraph is talking about the weather. So the supporting point is because the weather is good, what they can do, the things they can do. Now, in the problem which I mentioned, repeating of the same information is, for example, here the weather is still fairly warm, so up to there we know that the weather is good, weather is warm. So for example, if the student wrote like this, I think your parents will really enjoy the city, particularly the old town, in this good weather. If the student included this part here, for example, to here, okay. Now I hope you understand, even if I am explaining like this. If you do not understand, please ask in the group, okay. For example, I think your parents will really enjoy the city, particularly the old town, in this good weather. This is what I call repeating of information. First, in the first line, you have the student have already mentioned that the weather is still fairly warm. So the weather is good. And then again in the end, in the next sentence, you have the student have repeated the same information again in this good weather. So the reader is getting the information again for the second time. So there's no need to repeat information like this. Okay? And then I found some um, punctuation mistakes. I did mention that you should always use a comma after any linking word. Alright? And then there should be comma right after the name, and then a comma after all the best, and you don't have to write a full stop after your name. And also another thing, some of you have given a lot of spacing in between here. Maybe because in Divahi letters we write Ihtiram Gabul Kurum, Hadim Kum, and then we leave a space here for signature, or we write in bracket soy and then at the end name. But in English letters we do not have to leave space for signature, because we will not sign we will not be signing, or so that we do not have to leave a space for signature. Just write all the best, and then on the next line, just your name. And when you're writing your name, just your given name, first name. You do not have to write your full name, because this is informal. That is, your name also should be written informally. Okay. All right. So, if you do you have any questions regarding letter the letter writing? Now, because this is very important, letter writing is important. It will be there in the exam. I want you to write one more letter for me. Okay. Now, there are a lot of students who have not submitted. I I'll assign you this assessment on Google Classroom. Okay. And then about the exam paper, I do have a sample letter for you to just go through. I have to search a little bit. Just give me a few minutes, okay? I'll just show you a sample question paper, how the basic format will be. So just give me a few minutes, I'll just find it in a while. Okay. We still haven't confirmed on a date to for the exam to be held. So I'll inform you as soon as it is confirmed. Okay. I have uploaded the marks on Google Classroom. Can you check if you can view the marks? Otherwise, I have the marked. I printed your letters and then marked. I wrote comments on each one of your letters so that you can see them. I will. I can send you the marked letters so that you will be able to view the comments which I have written. Can someone let me know, check and let me know if you can view the marks? Okay. Now, keep in mind that this is not exactly how your exam paper will look like, but just a basic idea of how your paper will be. I did not upload the mark letter. I have written the marks. I have graded each. Can you check now? I have sent for those who have completed. Yes, can you view the marks now? And if the screen slide is not clear, try changing the settings on your YouTube screen. Here at the below, right about here, you'll see a little um, setting button. From there, you can change it to 720p, 720 pixels. Okay. How about now? Is it clear? Alright, so basically, this is just a basic idea of how your exam paper will look like. First, there will be something regarding sentence structure and paragraph arrangement. You remember we did study about sentence structure and how to paragraph. So, here in this question, you are given a topic sentence for a paragraph titled My Hometown, and the rest of the sentences in the paragraph are jumbled. Rewrite in order to create a clear and well organized paragraph in continuous form. So, here in this question, you are given there are 10 sentences. You need to read and then decide which sentence comes first, which is second. The order is jumbled. So you need to read and then reorder them and write it as one whole paragraph. Alright. Now for instead of paragraph arrangement, I might give you a paragraph and then to correct the mistakes in it. For mistakes as in the we did I did assign you one assessment on correcting paragraphs, the punctuation and tenses and everything. So there can be this task can be replaced with a task like that also to correct the paragraph, the mistakes in the paragraph, all the punctuations, capital letters and sentence structures, the tense used in the paragraph, things like that. All right. Next, in this paper, we have state whether the following sentences are simple, compound, or complex. So here you read the sentence and select answer whether it is a simple or compound or complex sentence. Okay. So in we will cover like the most important areas which we covered in this module so far. That is sentence structure, letter writing, and then I want to give you a little bit of reading, which means you'll read a text, not a very long text. You'll read a text and answer some questions regarding that text. Okay. Now in this paper, there's only two questions, but in your exam paper, I have decided to give you one reading, which is where you will read a short text and maybe a short article and answer the questions to it. Next, something like this, correcting mistakes, and then um, sentence structure, a question on sentence structure, and then letter writing, a writing task. All right, I will inform you the total marks for the exam and the presentation because I want to assess your speaking. I want you to give a short presentation. I'll give you a few topics and then you will prepare a short presentation of about 5 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes, and then just present the presentation. The dates I'll confirm the dates with Rushma Miss and then will inform you. Probably you will do the presentation during the time you come to do the exam also. All right. I will pretty soon. I'll try to share with you the presentation, the outline, the question for the presentation. Okay. I'll decide on the few topics for you to present, and the marking criteria, which are the things which I'll be looking for while you are presenting, so that you will know how to focus your presentation while presenting. Okay. Do you have any questions regarding today's letter writing task? If not, I would like to quickly go through some linking words which I want you to know. Okay. You will do the presentation when you come to do the exam. The final exact date has not been set yet. I will inform. Okay. All right. We'll just quickly We'll just quickly go through some of the linking words which you can use in your letters and other formal or informal writings. Now, linking words are words which we use to connect one sentence or one idea to the other. There are different types of linking words, additional words which we can use to add an idea, to oppose an idea, to conclude, to begin as an introductory. Yeah, linking words and phrases. Linking words are words and phrases which indicates a connection. These words work in the way that help the reader understand the information in the text is organized. That's why they are also called text organizers and discourse markers. Moreover, this is one example of a linking word. There are a long selection of words and phrases that set a particular pace in the sentence. Alright, now you can see additional linking words. Link words which you can use to add an idea to another idea. This type of linking word introduces more information for which extends the previous statement. So to use adding linking words are used when you want to add some more information to the previous point which you have mentioned already. Okay. For example, besides, moreover, furthermore, what is more, in addition to, in addition, apart from this, example, for instance, as well as to, likewise, and there are many more which you can use to add another idea. Here are some examples. You can read through this. I'll just read a few. The city is a famous shopping center. Moreover, it is well known for its art galleries and museum. Furthermore, people can enjoy its long beach. So when you are using additional linking words, adding linking words, make sure that you are talking about the same idea, the same thing in the beginning of the sentence or in the middle or at the end. He's got a wonderful job in the main city. Besides, he has got a good income. Apart from this, he also has a company car. He is an excellent football player as well as an excellent athlete. Here's another way which you can say this sentence. He is an excellent football player and an excellent athlete too. He is also an excellent football player and athlete. Alright, next. Summarizing linking words. In other words, you can use these words or phrases in a conclusion of your writing. Summarizing comes from summary. For this reason, these linking words are used to put an end to a text or to introduce a conclusion to a text. For example, to sum up, summing up, all in all, overall, in short. Here are some examples. To sum up, summing up. To conclude, the meal in new restaurant was appalling. In conclusion, or in short, it is important to spread the news about the medical discovery. On the whole, or broadly speaking, she had a very happy childhood. All in all, the decision was generally applauded by everyone. Contrasting linking words. Contrasting linking words will introduce an idea which opposes to the previous sentence. These linking words sets a surprise contrast with the previous sentence. If you want to state something opposite to the previous point which you have mentioned, then you use contrasting linking words. Although, though, even though, while, despite, in spite of, but, however. Here are some examples. Although and though have the same meaning. Okay. Despite and in spite of are used when you are mentioned circumstances which surprisingly do not avoid something from happening. But, however, nevertheless are used when you are adding a comment which contrasts with the previous sentence. Here are some examples. Although the machine is old, it should work for a few more years. Despite the fact that the machine is old, it should work for a few more years. Here in the last example, do you ask me if the film was interesting? On the contrary, it was a complete waste of time. So here, as you can see, they have used a contrasting linking word or phrase here and mentioned a totally opposite idea of the previous sentence. Understood? So always try to incorporate linking words in your writings. Now, when I say this, it does not mean that you have to use a linking word in the beginning of every sentence. For example, you are writing a 150 to 200 word short letter. In this letter, for like maximum you may use three to five linking words in different occasions. Alright. In a short writing like a letter. Three is also enough. It depends sometimes on how long or the style of your writing. Alright, so I think I'll mail you the scanned copy of each one of yours letter which I have marked so that you will know exactly what the mistakes you have made and how you can improve. I have written some notes on each one of your letters. Right, I'm not sure if you can see, but I have written some comments and marked some areas which you need to correct. So the for the next letter which you are going to write, you can improve this, and write a better letter. All right. So in a few minutes, I will upload another question. I'll give you some more time to really focus and concentrate and write this letter. Okay. Most probably, I might give you a formal letter. All right. So if you do not have any further questions regarding letter and or just anything, I'll finish the class for today. Okay, so we'll see you on Wednesday. Okay.